says a rectangle was altered by increasing its length by 10%. So regular rectangle, you know that the length times the width is the area, right? We all know that. Well, now we don't know any numbers here, okay? But it says that it's going to increase its length by 10%. Okay, so since we have no numbers to work with, we're just going to pretend like everything is at 100%. So what is 10% of 100%? 0.1, or you could say like 10, right? But if you were to write it, it is like 0.1. So one would be the full, and then adding 10% would be plus 0.1. So we're going to say that this length increased by 10%. So if this is like 1L and 1W, we'll just use those numbers. Okay, we're going to just use 1 and 1. So this would be actually 1.1 L. Who has a question here how we got that 0.1? You guys cool? You all get that 10% of 1 is 0.1. So that's why we're adding it here, because it says it got enlarged by 10%. Okay? And then it's going to decrease its width by p%. So decrease is going to be, I'm going to start with the easy part. Decrease means to subtract. And p%, how did I tell you guys to always write percent? Over 100. So p% is going to look like this to you. Okay? So we know that the width, whatever the width is, and the width was 1, right? So 1 is going to get subtracted, decreased by p%. Okay? And then this is like, this was the hard part, that was the hard part, setting that up. But then we also know it says that the area decreased by 12%. So let's say that the area was also, well, the area is 1 times 1 is 1, right? So if the area is 1, if it decreased by 12%, which is 0.12, 1 minus 0.12 is 88. Okay, so the area is going to equal 0.88 of the area. That's what it's going to equal, 0.88 of the area. And if you were to write this as an equation now, it would be 1.1 L times, because area times length times width equals the area, right? So multiplied by 1 minus P over 100 W would equal 0.88 of the area. And then what you can do here is you can cross out the length and the width and the area, because length times width equals the area. Do you guys get that? So we could cross this out because we know length times width equals the area. There's no numbers there, and that part of the equation could just get invisible then. And then from here, it actually gets easy now, okay? If you see this, it says, what is the value of P? If we're solving for P, this is multiplied to this whole thing. If we want to get rid of it, you divide it out, 1.1. Divide out 1.1. That will cross out and that will cross out. Now our math is starting to get easy. And you could use a calculator, so 0.88 divided by 1.1 is 0.8 on this side. And then you're going to have 1 minus P over 100 on this side. If you want to then solve for P, what do you got to do? You got to subtract out the 1 from this side, subtract out the 1 from that side. That's going to cross out. And we're going to now get negative 0.2 on this side. And then you're going to get negative P over 100 on this side. So we got a negative on this side and a negative on this side. What can you do? They make a positive. And now look, it's easy. Cross multiplication if you're trying to solve for a P. Okay? P is going to equal, and then 0.2 times 100 equals 20. So this part right here, once we get rid of the L, W equals A, because those could get canceled out, all it is easy math from here. Okay, like a regular algebra. This is the part that all of you guys need to go over 4 to 5 times so that you're ready for the teach back. Explain why it's 0.1. And then why it's like this. And then why it's 0.88.